All right, it's a new week at the Hyatt house. I would tell you what we're gonna work on this week, but I think last week proved that we don't really know what we're gonna find. But we did get these windows in the kitchen trimmed out. And it looks like we've made the decision that we are not going to have enough chair rail to finish the kitchen. At least not all of the same, and we don't wanna mix and match in this room, even though it's mixed and matched in the hallway. So we're gonna wait on these two windows because the kitchen cabinets are gonna be all around these. So we're gonna get the cabinets hung when they come in, then we'll trim out these windows. So that's what we're doing today. Let's see what else we get up to this week. Meanwhile, in the mudroom, the guys have been doing lots and lots of scraping and sanding, and this wood is looking pretty smooth. I think we're gonna sand it one more time with the hand sander, and then we'll prime it and paint it, and I think it's gonna paint up pretty well. So since you last saw it, we primed this room. I think you guys saw it scraped and sanded. We have primed it. We've gotten the whole wallpaper room primed. It's wallpaper room no more. There's no wallpaper in here, but the name still sticks. These are our little closet doors for the third floor. This is the laundry room door. So we are just priming. The wooden room is the emptiest it's been in a long time. And we are scraping that old beadboard in here. Hey y'all, it's a new day at the Hyatt house. The guys are working to frame the windows and doors in the back of the house, but I'm gonna turn my attention on this fireplace. I'm gonna clean it up, see what we can do. See if we can get some paint off, see if we can get some soot off, see if we can make it look a little better so we know what we're gonna do going forward. So here's what we have done. First of all, I've used this citrus strip, whatever. It's good stuff. It's not terrible on your skin, and it doesn't stink too bad. So I put it on half of that metal surround. We scraped off and got a lot of loose paint, if you see that. So we're gonna let that sit for a little while. And then I just did some old-fashioned elbow grease on soap. And we've got two different things here. This is concrete that's been poured, and then a tile pattern has been stamped in it. You can see the original concrete. Somewhere there was a red coat of paint, and then most recently is this blue-gray. That blue-gray was also on here. This is not concrete. This is like pressed plaster. So they did a plaster surround and then again tooled in that tile pattern. So here's what we're gonna try to do. Clean this up really good and just repaint it. We could tile on top of it, but then this molding is not gonna work. So we're gonna try to make that work. We are gonna try to patch this plaster crack. I don't know if it can be done, but we're gonna try. And then get all of this old paint off, and then maybe repaint that plaster. Maybe do a painted treatment. I told you my plans for the powder room didn't work out, but I'm wondering if maybe they'll work on this tile or faux tile. So that's where we are now. I'll show you the progress again later. So I told you we were working on doors in the back of the house. This door was here originally, or not originally, but it was here when I bought it. And it is going to go from the office into the laundry room. The door swings into this room, which is odd, but we're gonna leave it that way because that's the way it was. At one time it was probably a back door, and that would have been a porch. And also it helps with the flow of the laundry room because you'll probably leave it open a lot and it'll swing all the way back and go flush on that wall. Now across the way in the wallpaper room, we are making a slight change to this door. Originally, remember this was a porch. There was a door right here that went from the kitchen into this room. This is a bedroom. Nobody wants a bedroom off their kitchen. And we added a bathroom. So we've moved this door from behind me to over here. So we're putting that trim and casing back on. So it's a door day around here. All right, so the citrus strip has been sitting for a couple of hours. So let's see what we can do. That's not too bad. So there's some gunk coming off. See that? So I'm gonna do a little scraping. Okay, the lighting's not great in here, so I hope you can see. So we haven't done anything to this side. This side, I wiped a lot of the strippies off. There's still a little bit on there. It gets really goopy, and it's hard to get out of all the crevices. But the main thing is we're still gonna paint this black. It's not like we're trying to get it down to natural wood. So the main thing is we just wanna get it clean. We wanna get the chunks of paint that you see over there off. And so I think we've done a pretty good job with that. You can see I went through like half a roll of paper towels. So the next big key thing is gonna be, can we patch that crack without it looking super ghetto? So I'm gonna keep working on my little project. So I told you it was door day. This is a closet door. If you remember way back, the main bedroom was 2 bedrooms. It was a little tiny room and then a medium-sized room. And somebody had added 2 little closets, and these doors were added. These are probably more like mid-century doors, but we haven't had to buy any new doors because we're repurposing all the doors in the house. In fact, I'm going to see if I can find a picture of it and put it right here for you to see. So this one is actually going to be a closet door right here. There's a closet in this addition, and that's going to be the closet door. His brother is a little bit taller, but it's not quite tall enough. It's going to become the powder room door, and the powder room's right over there. But we're going to have to make it a little taller. So you see how there's more height here than up here. So we are going to creatively add a little bit more height just so you don't have to duck your head to go into the powder room. It's okay to have a smaller door in the closet, but you need a human-sized door in the powder room. So we're going to work on that next. How do we make that door taller? So we're talking about that powder room door that we needed to make a little bit taller. I thought we were going to have to sacrifice a door that we weren't planning to use to cut it off, but the guys actually ripped me down a piece of lumber that's exactly the size we need. And we're going to run some pocket screws in, put it at the bottom. By the time we caulk it and paint it, you'll never know it was there. We decided to put it at the bottom because the spacing at the top is 4 inches, and all of these divisions are also 4 inches, as are the sides. So we didn't want to mess that up. And honestly, the patch or the extension at the bottom will be less obvious. All right, so we put 4 pocket screws in. Like I said, all we need to do is sand it. Maybe put a little wood putty in. We'll fill in those pocket screw holes, and no one will ever know that we made the door 4 inches taller. Hey, it's a new day at the Hyatt house, and it's still a door day. We have turned our attention to trimming out this door. If you remember, back when we were building the laundry room, we had to shift this door over just a little bit, which has created a pretty big gap here. So we've talked about, do we patch that? We feel like lots of little patches is gonna look strange. So we're actually just gonna oversize the trim on this door. It'll match the trim on this door and the window. It's just gonna be a little bit bigger. Meanwhile, in the wallpaper room, we're still working on this door. We just discovered that we were missing a piece of the door trim, and we found it. We went on a mad search. We found it bundled up outside with some other lumber. And the reason we needed it is because this is just a standard 1x, but this little piece right here is the piece that we were missing. We had the 2 vertical pieces, but we were missing the horizontal. And you see it matches our window and that door over there. So we found it. It hasn't gotten primed yet because it was outside, but we're going to trim that door out so it will match this door and the window. If you remember, this door was right there. So we saved the casing and the door and everything to just move across the room. We've gotten this closet door trimmed out. This is the old 1x that was on it on the second floor. And we don't have a trim for this side, so we're just gonna mimic this on this side in this bathroom. So it's another door day. Like that. That trim that we had to go digging for in the backyard is on the bathroom door. We're trimming out the closet door in there. And then the ginormous door. But even though it's a really big trim, I still think it would be better than if we had patched all this wood. We're almost ready to trim out this powder room. We've already trimmed this side of the laundry room. So the doors continue. Our next project is we've got to do a baseboard in the wooden room. The only baseboard that we have left that survived is right here. It's not really anything special, so we're just going to tear that off and re-baseboard all of this. If you remember originally this was a porch, but when we bought the house, it was a kitchen. And so somebody had cut out a lot of the base to put in a cabinet and sinks and a stove. So we're going back with a basin here. And then we're going to be awfully close to being done with trim. The base in the wooden room is going down. We're going to pause here. Pretty sure I've told you this multiple times, but we're doing some built-ins on this wall. So we're going to pause on the base there. We'll build here, and then we'll trim that out. But making progress in here. Moving along on the trim. I don't recall if I have shown you this medicine cabinet. This was on the second floor bathroom, the only bathroom that was in the house when we bought it. It's got this cute little glass knob that I think we're going to be able to clean up. I'm going to need to get some new glass shelves to go inside. But we've decided that we're going to put it in the downstairs bathroom. Mainly because everything in here is new. So we cut a niche for it right there. It's going to be above the toilet. Vanity will be here. And I'm excited. When I first bought the house, it was one of the few things that I was like, we're going to keep that. Because most of the stuff that was in the house was not worth keeping. But I'm going to keep that cute little medicine cabinet. So I found it hidden away. We haven't scraped it, sanded it, or primed it yet. I think it's the only thing in the house that hasn't been. All right, folks, that is a wrap of another week at the Hyatt house. We got some work done on this mantle. It was all about doors and trim. We are so close to being ready to start painting. So come back next week. You can see some paint colors go on the walls and see what else is happening at the Hyatt house.